What's up? What's up, everybody? Well, the rioters summoned them. What are we talking about here already? Good morning. I'm just reading at the chat that's already in here. You guys are already. Let's see. Send keto brains cognition stuck in. Oh, you talking about the rioting? Oh yeah, we'll be talking about that tonight. We'll be talking about that tonight because it ties into a lot of things. I have a lot of questions I've asked, especially when it comes to the militarization of the police. Remember that executive order? Everybody's like, "What is this? What is this?" And I said, why would this be? I said, why would this be? We had Obama doing a lot of this. We would complain about Obama militarizing the police, giving military overflow equipment to local police, and say, this is not good, this is not good. But then I wondered, I said, is there something that Trump is getting ready for? Some eventual thing? And how long have we been talking about Tet offensive? How long have we been talking about Tet offensive style shit that's going to be going on in this country because we have several standing armies, several foreign nations standing armies embedded in the country now? I mean, if you're observing even loosely what's going on in Los Angeles, you tell me that that's not totally coordinated by all the same types of people getting all the groups you'd expect to jump into action for one reason or another, including just the local chaos because they're robbing Air Jordan stores again. Air Jordan stores are getting robbed again. Pallets of cinder blocks and bricks being found all over the place. Come on now. So there's that. But Robert Phoenix is coming on tonight. I said, Robert, you got to come on the show tonight because I want you to talk. I want you to give me the Astro review, the Astro charts between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. How bad is this? Who's got the upper hand? To what degree is drugs? To what degree are drugs playing a role in all this stuff? And then he's got a comment on what's going on in LA because I don't know if you guys remember, but Robert Phoenix, the last couple of times he's been on the show, whenever we're talking about just the years to come and where we really have some threats coming our way. Thank God for this stuff. Really needed this. I had a super productive Sunday yesterday. But he kept talking about MS-13. Now, that's probably a factor in a lot of this stuff, but man, it's just so predictable. Just so predictable. Even down to the categorizing the whole thing that you're seeing in Los Angeles as an immigration protest. No, it's not even immigration. Again, that's a psyop in itself. The immigration riots or immigration protests. It's not immigration. Just a bunch of people who need to be turned away, who should have never been encouraged to come here, to be honest. So now you have all the people you'd expect going out there to try to protect their assets. I'm drinking the 2024 mug. I'm going old school today. So Blue Lotus lives in Mexico? I didn't know that. How has this caused stress in Mexico? And I'm curious. Blue Lotus says, I live in Mexico, stressed. Because obviously there's two sides to this coin. I'd love to know. I'd love to know Katie says, I'd love to know what the sentiment is there. How many average how many average Mexicans know, like, what do they feel? What do they feel about all this stuff? because we know that even that Mexicans are really not even the main group coming over the border. At least not anymore. They're pissed off there. Well, about what in particular, Blue Lotus? And Lotus, if you want to call in, let me know. I'll fire up the Zoom right now. You can call into my phone. I'll put you on speakerphone. Gary, I've been seeing reporting on people tapping into cinder blocks. I got a booger? Really? I don't have a booger in my nose. You've got a dingleberry up to your ass. Dingleberry calling a booger. An ass booger. You need a number? Okay. Hold on. Blue Lotus is going to call. Here's a new aspect to the show. Let's see. Let us see. Okay. Blue Lotus. Call 914-200-0269. 914-200-0269. It's the same number. Let's get this up and running. And I'll turn down the Sonos a little bit. Give me a buzz. 914-200-0269. Let's see if a Mexico number pops up. Yo, Blue Lotus.
Hello.
Lotus?
Hi. It's Blue Lotus.
Hey, what's going on? Okay, so hold on. Tell everybody hello. Let's see if they hear you.
Hello, everybody.
Do you guys hear her all right at home? Let's see if they say hold on.
They don't hear me.
Okay, they sound. I got at least one good. Let's see. All right, good. They all hear you. All right, so give us the perspective of what's going on right now from the Mexican side.
Okay, so I'm in Nayarit, which is close to Puerto Vallarta, which is basically a resort area. Lots of Americans and Canadians live down here. They either have properties, they live down here, half the year or year round like me. And I'm just feeling, a little bit of microaggressions from people. Of course, I have employees, and they have family that live in Texas, and they're undocumented. I don't know how they've managed to be there for 20 plus years and own property, and, they don't drive the driver's license. So they're scared, and I'm here in Mexico, and I feel scared, but I don't really want to go out that much because I can feel it. Of course, we have a lot of global stress going on, so that's part of it as well. But I can feel just, people look at me a little different right now because of the stress that's going on between the two countries. I definitely look like Gringa.
So your job or do you often dip into the United States? Do you cross the border often for work or something?
I live down here. I have property down here. I have an Airbnb.
Okay. And you only feel that kind of social tension right now built up when you're on the American side of the border or anywhere.
I feel the social microaggressions on the Mexican side, living as an American in Mexico right now.
Oh wait, from Mexican. You're feeling it from Mexicans.
Oh yeah.
Okay. How many people around you, what's the ratio of people who are taking the news, like the surface level news reporting of the issue as this being an immigration riot and all that other stuff versus a little bit more of a deeper level, like what we do on the show, talking about how the hidden hands that are kind of directing all these things and what they're trying to do to actually break down social cohesion both in Mexico and United States elsewhere. Like how much of a surface level, I guess, official story view do people take around you, or is anybody looking into it deeper?
Well, everybody here understands that this president was elected with 17 of her competitors killed by the cartels. The cartels wanted her in. Everybody knows that.
You're talking about Shine.
Everybody
You're talking
here-
about Shine Bomb.
Yeah. First of all, she's Jewish in a Catholic country. Second of all, she's female, which this is a patriarchal society, normally, very much Catholic. So this was a one-off. People didn't really understand, but cartels are everywhere. I mean, the last guy that I was renting from, I could tell he was cartel. It's like they're everywhere. They're in every business. And so when I would talk to him about, you guys need to have a male Catholic president, not some Jewish female who, I mean, what is that? That's like a plant. And he was like, no, she's good. So they wanted her in because she's friendly to the cartels.
Mm.
And also, you have to understand this. There are multiple various cartels who compete against each other. And so we have the Republican Party and the Democrat Party. So if you put it down here, you have the PAN Party and the PRI Party, and they have their individual cartels who support them. Okay? So there would be like Trump having his own mafia and Kamala having her own mafia, and then having their own cartels doing battle in the streets. Okay? And everybody knows that down here. And so it's like, your question is, do they know a deeper level of the hidden hand working? Of course they do, and it's part of their life. They take it as this is how it's always been, and they don't know how to get away from it. And so if Trump wants to even suggest that he's going to come down here and fight the cartels, it's like deep-seated, no way that's going to happen. We won't let him come here with the military and try to clean up the cartels. And plus the CIA is down here with the cartels. In fact, the CIA taught the cartels, arms the cartels. They're down here causing the problem.
Oh, listen. I mean, that's whenever we talk about topics like drugs or the so-called drug war, and how do we, how do you undercut the black market and all that stuff? Well, like most times in history, prohibition has led to the creation of the black market, and then suddenly we're the ones that are secretly regulating it all. And
That's right.
between there's a reason why that the southern border has been open for generations. It doesn't matter who's in charge from time to time. It's drugs and guns and people, and that's something I can. That's interesting. I just to have it be a foregone conclusion that your government is largely being directed by paramilitary, drug cartel. We have that to a good degree over here too, but I don't know if the understanding is the same because we live at a much higher level, much higher standard, I think, than the average Mexican does. So I
Much
think
higher level of law and order. Much higher level of law and order in the United States.
so. Then what is in particular what's going on in Los Angeles right now? How is that being received? Because there's not really nobody's really that isn't directly being tied to some sort of a plan to send the military into Mexico, but it is a local It is a local disturbance based on the desire to at least um, deport people who should not be here. And as you can see, the reason why they shouldn't be here is being laid bare for everybody, because yeah, they're being directed by those who are much well resourced and hidden behind the scenes, and they're tied in with the government, they're tied in with our media, and NGOs and all that, but these are people who largely don't have any real affection for the country, and when it comes time to fight, they're willing to destroy as much as possible. So they got to get out of here. So what do you feel? What is there any sentiments that you can let us know about just the general deportation efforts that are stirring up so much shit right now?
Yeah, so I read a book once called The Next 100 Years. I forgot who wrote it, but when I first got down here, so that was 20 years ago, so the book's 20 years old, and it said the next 100 years, and it basically did a whole global geopolitical scenario. One chapter was about Mexico. The Mexicans definitely feel that Texas, California, Arizona, these were lands that were taken by the United States, and their sympathy is and their goal is to take that land back. And so by the time, and this was in the book, by the time the United States understands that the Mexicans have completely embedded themselves in those states, it would be too late for the military to understand what has happened, and including the National Guard would have been completely overtaken and embedded by the Mexicans. So it would be the United States would have to give those lands back.
Right, the reconquista.
That's their goal, man.
Okay. Well, Blue, are you going to be watching tonight?
Oh yeah, I watch it every night.
Okay. Well, listen. I mean, it's very easy to spot your number only because anybody that calls from outside the country has the country code. So this will be a main topic because not only because our guest, I'm going to put Robert Phoenix on in the second half, so we can do all this. But in the first half, we'll just be reading some news, and I'll just be taking some calls, and I have some bigger questions from the audience tonight, and for people that don't tune into the Monday morning coffee meetings, feel free to call in tonight with any fresh perspectives or to reiterate anything that you're saying right now.
Yeah, and I can also email you on my Patreon so I can keep you updated if some new developments happen down here. I'll keep you posted.
I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Blue.
All right, take care.
Later. Yeah. No, that reconquista is real. Now, of course, Mexico sold most of that to us. We bought most of it. And of course, then we won the rest. And that was all from Mexican government that was the first conquistadors. So it has nothing to do with native. That's why I always thought the whole thing was funny. The whole thing is just so funny to me. Spanish speakers saying you took this land from us. I said, wait, how did the Spanish language get here again? Let's run back the clock, just maybe like 75 years more. And but that whether it is the so-called conquering of Europe, or they call there's or the Western Hemisphere reconquista, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter where it is. If you're talking about the retaking of the West, it is not ever going to be done without the sponsorship of those who are supposedly leading the West. There is no way that a bunch of barefooted North Africans and Middle Eastern men are going to come on barges of garbage across the Mediterranean to Italy to Greece, to France, everywhere else, and just take over the place. They were imported. There are enemies behind the gates importing people, especially people who are going to have babies and who are going to outproduce the native populations who have been convinced not to have children and or have been atmospherically sterilized. So the whole thing about where we're taking back the lands, you haven't done anything. You are being allowed to do this because the people who supposedly represent us and our interests are trying to conquer us. You are the weapon. You're not the invading force. Okay? Immigrants are the weapon. This is not some kind of a justified, hundreds of years of European colonialism is finally falling down on the weight of its unsustainability. It's like no, we are vastly superior still, and let's be honest, let's be honest. The Mexican government is again built upon European governance and European, but that was just when you talk about America and Mexico back in the day, yeah, there was fighting going on there, but there was a lot of land purchasing too. So, but for the average person watching all this, it has been boiled down to them, for them, pre-digested for them as white people getting their comeuppance and brown people taking back what's rightfully theirs. That is the bird-brained way that all this is being distilled. And as you can see from just 5 minutes talking with Blue Lotus, there's so much more going on there. But you try to get somebody to listen long enough to get to the bottom of that. A couple things. So yeah, that's really what we're going to be talking about tonight. So there's no no real need to take notes. I think a couple of well-placed calls from you guys, and that'll be nice. Let's see here. Big Daddy Kane. Unless you've actually been to Mexico, it's really hard to understand how farcical all this is. When driving through it, it's either military checkpoints or half-built homes. Oh, you know what? Poopy Butthole says something in the chat room that I think is great. A couple of real quick things since I have a couple hundred of you watching. Voicemails. Right now, go in the description of this episode. There's a few things you need in there. There is the Speak Pipe, Quite Frankly Speak Pipe link. That's voicemails for tonight. 200 of you right now. A dozen of you can leave me a voicemail about what you're seeing going on, thoughts, observations, inside information, whatever the hell it is. Leave me a voicemail. It's like a 90-second limit. The link is in the description. It's the Quite Frankly Speak Pipe link. So that's for tonight. That would be great. That's the way that I can get more calls in. I can listen to those. I want to hear it. You guys can bring in any theory. Lisa just brought up Yuri Bezmenov. Bring somebody like him up. Reference people, whatever the hell it is. So leave me some voicemails for tonight. Also, at 9 o'clock, it is the second session for our book club, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain, with Charlie Robinson as the co-host. Leave me voicemails for that as well. So that for those of you who are monthly sponsors and you are engaged in the culture clubs with me, go ahead and do that. I just finished my reading this morning, so it's nice, fresh in my mind. But yeah, voicemails are huge, especially on nights like tonight. They're huge. Just open lines nights. Whenever you see that there is a guest coming up on the guest calendar, oh, I got a question for so and so. Somebody just left me a question for Brandon Joe Williams when he comes on Wednesday night. You know, so voicemails have been a game changer, especially for the culture clubs afterwards, which are really intimate settings. So go do that. I like that a lot. Also, yeah, there's a couple other things we'll get to in a second. Let's see what else we have. Let's get to the super chats. Have you ever been to Mexico? No, I have not. I have not. Rain cry says keep the ball rolling. The ball is always rolling. The voicemails are awesome. Yes. Haven't seen Zoo York merch in a minute. Oh yeah, I know. Well, this is it's an old tee. I never skated on Zoo York boards, but I always liked their stuff. And I had the Zoo York, I still have it. I have a Zoo York hoodie that is such great quality. But years ago, the my arms outgrew the whatchamacallit, the sleeves. And I didn't want to get rid of it because everything else fits so well. The hoodie covered the head well. So I cut the sleeves. So I have like a cut off hoodie that I still go to in the spring and in the fall before it starts getting super cold. I love it. It's the only two Zoo York things I still have. I don't even know if they make it. What chapter did we read up to? Moira says. You read up to the end of chapter 14. It's the end of chapter 14. So you stop when you hit chapter 15. Tom's stealthy visit home. He and Huck Finn have just taken a little bit of a trip down the river on a little pirate adventure. Fantastic. What a great summer read. 3 Junes in a row with great summer reads. Sew new sleeves on it and use it in the winter again. Nah, no. I actually like the look of it with the sleeves cut off. Poopy says, especially everyone watching right now, we obviously don't have day jobs, so no excuses. Leave those mails. Make sure some are funny. Yeah, well, we'll see. The best thing about voicemails is I get to comb through them and get the best ones on so that we don't get, what limited time I have for calls, we don't get left with too many lemons. I like open lines. And every once in a while when an outrageous lemon call comes through, we have a memory that we can share forever. But that's it. T Webb says it's 8:30 here. I'm going to work eventually. Poopy's just screwing with you. Do you get transcripts of them or do you actually listen to them all? Yeah, I listen to them. The voicemails limit the whole thing to only 90 seconds. I think it's only a minute and a half, so it's not that long. So that's what we have. I'm going to leave a voicemail of me moaning. Well, yeah, okay. I can save that for a Friday night. So you left me a voicemail, you moaning. I have so many great contest ideas. I guess I would play that for Matt on a Friday night. Matt, what do you think about this guy moaning? We always thought about that too. We asked ladies out there. We collected a couple of really pathetic male moans, and we presented them to ladies of the audience and asked them, in certain situations, what would you do if you heard this moan number one, moan number two? Oh yeah, no, the Bigfoot cries. I've got a couple of great ones. Hold on. The Bigfoot cries was such a great night. That I needed more on this. And I have some ideas. You ready for these? Hold on a second. Listen to some of these ideas I have. Of course. Hold on a second. Give me a moment. Hold on. Give me a moment. I promise you. It's all going to be worth it. All right, here we go. These are some things that I had. Alien Contact Challenge. What about this? Listeners call in to perform their best alien communication signal or greeting to extraterrestrials that can mimic sci-fi, whatever. Sci-fi inspired beeps, clicks, like the alien from Signs, garbled messages, things like that. I always thought about time traveler voicemails. Ask callers to leave voicemails as if they're a time traveler from that's stuck in a certain era of time. Okay, I had superhero auditions, haunted house sound effects. There could be some good moans in there. Always moaning and groaning going on in a haunted house. Best pickup lines? Oh man, Kurt, that's a good one. That's a good one. Fictional product commercials. You guys can call in to pretty much pitch a ridiculous new product. Let's see here. I had fantasy creature roar off. So you can just tell me what the hell it is. It can't not just Bigfoot, but you can a unicorn. Hey, I've heard a unicorn howl, neigh, whinny. What do unicorns do? They whinny, like like horses. Oh, there's so many things we can do. So I have things we're gonna be putting together because that Bigfoot night was fantastic. So all right, let's get to the super chats again. Huge missed opportunity if we don't have Matt reenact George Washington's death scene. What do you mean? Well, I mean, if everything stays on the present path, I don't see why Matt wouldn't. I mean, he would only reenact George Washington's death scene in December when he died. So we got to save that for December. ENV says, "Hey Frank, since you love baseball, my son's baseball team is going to state this week." Oh, awesome! What level, ENV? What level? Good job. Happy for you. Frank, when are you getting a dog? Aurora needs solemn furry friend to protect her. Well, I mean, we'll talk about dogs some other time. I mean, I always say, Lila's a wild card, but ultimately, if we really wanted a dog, Lila's just going to have to deal with it, get over her shit. But I'd rather have Aurora have a sibling. So I'm always praying for that instead. And we'll see. Ultimately, yes, a dog. But Aurora's only 4. I'd love for her to maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 would be a really great good age to get a nice, I don't know what, a medium sized dog, a golden retriever plopped in your lap. We'll see. All right. Yes, thank you, ENV. You guys, I'm in a special situation where many of you, I mean, you focus your attention on me. I have come to know many of you as individuals over the years, but whenever you pop up in my emails and stuff, I have somebody to pray for. But if you guys can keep me and my family and my friends, everybody, I always appreciate it. It's always good to be kept in people's prayers and intentions, your novenas, whatever it is. I appreciate it. Let's see here. The old SNL did the commercial ad ones. What? Oh, you're talking about the bits? Yeah. Um, I was a moaner. Susie says, I was a moaner on a radio show in Myrtle Beach in 1982. What the hell does that mean? You were a moaner? Was it a specific contest or you always called in to moan? Like, this is what you did? What does that mean? Tell me more about this. We're going to have to do something with moaning. Moaning is hilarious. You were a regular moaner? Susie, you have to contact the show. Email the show. I need to know more about this. How regular would you call in just to moan? Why? What was the context? You know, one of the first broadcasts that me and I, it's like a fluffer, but on radio, says Big Dick. I'm an audio fluffer. In 2006, in February of 2006, when me, Anthony, and Mike were doing our first broadcast at Manhattan and Manhattanville College Radio, we thought of bits, and of course we're just so edgy. One of the things we did was we wanted to do a fake moaning, fake orgasm contest, and of course, because the school's radio station was right there in the middle of Spelman Hall, which was the freshman dormitory. You know, when we went live at 1 a.m, all of the kids, my fellow classmates, were coming back from bars and pubs and all that stuff, and they're walking right past the radio station. We can see them through the glass, and they're all stumbling and stuff. They're drunk and whatever. So we're just calling people in. Say, hey, give us a. I remember we said we had the best fake orgasm contest. And I'm always looking for things to give away to people. I worked at a local pharmacy at the time. It's the pharmacy I met Lauren at. And I got these, it was so crude and stupid. I swiped a box of Azo cranberry tablets for urinary tract infections. And the best fake orgasm got a bottle of Azo cranberry tablets if they happen to get a UTI over the course of the next year at any point. They'd be ready. No UTI. It was so stupid. But I told Lauren, I said, hey, it's going to be our first broadcast tonight. You know, me and Lauren didn't break up until August of 2006. So in February or whatever, I'm like, hey, you can listen to us. We're going to be live at this time of the morning, and you can go to this link because they were streaming all this stuff on probably like Winamp or something like that. All those early. That's what we did. We were able to, the first time that we broadcast from home, we were able to do it live from a Winamp player. I forgot what the hell we did, how it all happened. You can listen to us on Winamp, and you can see all of these internet radio stations on Winamp. And then we found Live 365 and whatever. And Lauren, well, long story short, Lauren was mortified. She did not like it at all. She didn't like it at all. She didn't like the fake orgasm contest. The fact that, girls were coming into the radio station. I don't think we got a guy to come in. I think it was only just like groups of girls. And I don't know. We just wanted to be edgy so bad that I felt like, oh yeah, my girlfriend will be cool with it. Anyway, that's not why we broke up in August, but I'm sure it left a bad taste in her mouth. Anyway, that was it. So yeah, moaning contests are funny. Especially, hold on. I think somebody just sent me one. Wait a second. I'm going to make sure that this is... Wait.
Hey Frank, if you're hearing this, I just want to let you know you're all beautiful bastard.
Okay. This is from Nick G. Nick G. And Nick says the following. Just left me a voicemail right now.
Hey Frank, if you're hearing this, I just want to let you know.
Wait.
You're a bald, beautiful bastard.
Stop it. beautiful bastard. I thought he was going to moan. Let's see. What's this? We'll see if this is for tonight or not. No, this is probably for tonight. It's a minute and a half long. Well, I'll read that. I'll listen to that in just a little bit. I just wanted to, because I saw the other one was short, so I said, let's see if this is a goofy moan. Okay. Well, okay, that's good enough for today. 40 minutes. I just want to say, again, thank you. Anybody who wants any keto brains, get in touch with me. What I'm feeling right now, I started sipping this, and today I had hot coffee. I didn't ice it. I'll ice it down before I go to the studio, and I'll have a second serving of this before the studio, so my mind is on fire. But what I'm feeling right now is just, I don't know. I feel like I put some high octane fuel in the tank. Not jittery, but I'm just ready to work. I want to get all these things organized. Then I want to get a workout in. And then I have to go and do a whole bunch. I just love organizing. It's this, man. I'm telling you. And I'll put it to you this way. A lot of you guys and gals are over the weekend. I'll say this tonight too, because I've gotten a couple of emails from people who are using that Merlin Bird app. And that's just like a Cornell University thing that I found, and I've been having a lot of fun with. I am inclined to bring you guys stuff that I love and that works for me, and that's it. So a lot of you have been listening to birds on that app and identifying local birds just because I'm having fun with it. I was having fun with this a year before. I've been blessed to call them a sponsor, because this show needs all the support we can to be able to compete and make inroads in the larger media sphere that is dominated by people who have, quite a bit of money behind them. And I'm so happy for Molly's presence and Keto Brains. It feels good. I've been getting more and more benefit out of it the more I used it, and the more that I've fine-tuned my diet and my exercise routine and how it all really just clicks together. So if you want to try it, get in touch with me. I'm still spending plenty of money of my own money to get people samples, because I know you're going to love it. Get in touch with me. And we're going to be giving away a lot more bags as part of those contests for moaning and stuff and all that shit. So John Michael, get the Merlin app. If you're listening to birds chirping right now, it's a free app. And it's fantastic. I know everything right now. Everything. I'm sitting back. I'm like, oh, that's a robin. Oh, yeah, that's a mockingbird. Blue Jays and Cardinals are easy. I've known that since I was 5. But the difference between a house sparrow and a song sparrow, easy. The downy woodpecker, the red-tailed hawks that we have around here. And somebody got in touch with me. He said, Frank, I'm really happy that you're listening. You're paying attention to a lot more birds when you're outside, because not only is it a great learning experience for Aurora and yourself, but it keeps you present. And it's true. It's true. I mean, when I'm outside, I'm usually working out, working on the yard, cleaning, listening to music and all that stuff, reading a book, playing with Aurora. But even when I'm just sitting there, I'm not picking up the phone and, checking notifications. I'm just letting the phone sit down and just pick up sounds around me, and I'm just listening to it now too, and you're listening. I can't wait to pay attention to birds all over the place now, especially when we go up to the Adirondacks later on in the year. Though I never hear birds when I'm out there. I never hear any wildlife when we're out there. It's the strangest thing. It's like some apex predator is always around us. Cardinals back. Hold on, you want to see this thing work? Hold on. Let's do this together before we leave. Okay, so I got the app out. Ready? Hold on a second. Give me a moment. It's going to pick up the Cardinal easy. And you guys know that too, but watch. Ready? Hold on. Wait, let me turn off this ring before. Give me a second. See, that's the house sparrow chirping. Now watch. All I do is just press this. Now watch what. House sparrow. Told you. I hear the European starling out there. Wait. Wait, let me get it out there. Come on. Talk louder. There's the song sparrow. That was a song sparrow right there. There's a few things just out of earshot, but it listens to everything. You know, it's awesome. The chickadee did not pop up, but then again, I haven't heard a chickadee in a long time. I haven't heard it since that last time we did a stream on the back porch, and somebody was like, "That's a black-capped chickadee. That's the one I want." That one, I haven't heard it since then. But I think you guys would have a lot of fun with this. Your kids are gonna love it. Hold on a second. I didn't even notice. Merlin, Merlin, Bird app. It's free. Cornell University makes it. Your kids are gonna love it, and it's gonna get you. All of a sudden, you're gonna be like, I don't know, some like bird master. Okay, Poopy Butthole says, pray correctly. It's not just asking for things. You have to emulate feeling of what you'd feel when you get whatever it is you're praying for. Oh, I learned that I learned that about a couple of years ago now, Poopy. I stopped asking for everything. I will things presently in Jesus' name, and I also pray for strength. I pray for strength and peace to deal with whatever is going to happen, and I call upon. That's why I try to call upon that authority in the universe, God's authority in the universe. To usually just I ask for strength and to be filled with His grace. That's what I do. I don't ask for anything anymore, and that has made things a lot more fulfilling because, you know, how many years are you going to ask for stupid shit, not get it, and say, oh no, nobody ever answers my prayers? What the fuck? Well, you treat God like Santa Claus, of course. Katie says they think that they're taking their country back. It's just natural for them to feel that way. Thing is, we don't want them to, so there's that. Full moon in 2 days, June 11th. Reminder, Tony Black turns 95 tomorrow. 95 years old. Incredible, huh? Okay, well, thank you guys so much. I will talk to you later on. 7 o'clock will be live. I want to take a lot of your calls in the first half. Robert Phoenix will be on in the second half. Good stuff, and a great week ahead of us. Robin McCutcheon will be on Thursday night. Friday night we will be off, but on Friday night I will be playing the Saturday night special that we had on Rumble. I will be playing that on Friday. If you didn't see the Saturday night special, don't watch it. Don't watch it, because when I'm not on air Friday night, then you'll have something to see that you haven't seen before. And the Saturday night show was awesome. It was awesome. So trust me on this. If you didn't watch Saturday night show, don't. So you have something to watch on Friday night, and it'll be like I had a full week of work. All right? All right. So I'm going to go put things together, and I will talk to you soon. Become a sponsor. Become a sponsor. Read books with us. Watch film with us. Patronize all of our wonderful affiliates and friends, because that supports the show as well as wonderful American businesses. I actually have something new. This is one of the new sponsors coming on with us for the September event that me and Jay are putting together. I can't wait to try this today. I met with Chanel of Signals. She is she went to, I mean, she has her PhD in chemistry, and she's going to be a guest of ours sometime in July with me and Jay. And she put together this meal replacement shake that is pristine. 350 calories or so, 33 grams of protein. Every ingredient in this thing is beautiful. I haven't tried it yet. I get to try it today. She said I can blend this with 10 ounces of coffee. I said, Chanel, listen, I can't do shakes in water. So what? Give me something else. Do it in coffee. It's fantastic. I can't wait to report on this because they're going to be a sponsor of the September event. And hopefully we get to work with more companies like this, because these are small batch American companies that are trying to bring really good health promoting products to people. And I'd rather be dealing with companies like that than anything, that keep us healthy and that keep us out of the doctor's office. So I'll report back on this soon, but thank you. Also, if you're a Quite Frankly sponsor through quitefrankly.tv, not Patreon or Subscribestar, remember that members only section on quitefrankly.tv is for you. Everything I post on Patreon and Subscribestar is there. Go and check your emails. I've been sending out the password for it. We'll change the password from time to time, but get in touch with me if you haven't seen it. So I've been posting a lot of behind the scenes pictures and videos and all that other stuff. And all right, I'll see you guys tonight. Take care.